Hello, everybody. Welcome into the LFC Transfer Room. It's Jack, Chedu, and Louis. We'll be joined in a bit by Kris as well. He's over at Anfield Agenda, wrapping up their stream over there. But we kind of have a relaxed Sunday evening, Sunday night, afternoon kind of stream. Louis got the lovely green screen background, which I feel I have like green screen envy right now, because you have like Gerard in the background, and I'm sat here with my bed in the background. But Louis, how you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. Enjoyed the watch along yesterday. It was nice to sort of have the day off and just be able to enjoy it as a neutral. Well, the watch along from a not being on it perspective. No. Obviously, I'm a Liverpool fan before anyone jumps in. But no, it was all good. And we've got the Leeds game on Wednesday, obviously, but it's now less than a week until the Carabao Cup final, and I think that's where most of our thoughts are starting to go towards.
Yes, indeed. And Chedu, it's been a while since we've been on a stream together. That last season, I think, was the last time we were.
I think, yeah.
It's been a while, but how are you doing this lovely afternoon?
Fantastic. We, still have that high from yesterday. Excited. We have a lot of football coming up, so all good over here.
Yes, indeed. Good to see Anthony. Tremendous thumbnail made for us today. Ayush. Good to see you as always in the comments. Today's topic is about Joe Gomez, but we'll wait a little bit before we get into that. Kind of talk more generally. Louis, you mentioned the Carabao Cup final. We're a week away. There still is another match in between this moment and that match. But how optimistic are you that there will be a trophy to be celebrated in a week?
I mean, it's going to feel like a Champions League final, to be honest. It's going to be difficult to distinguish. I'm absolutely buzzing. Obviously, we're going to have in terms of the channel, we're going to have new swanky graphics for the watch-alongs, which is going to be fun to get that out and debut that. Again, Anthony, fantastic work on that. Yes. So when you guys all see it, make sure that you thank him in the chat because it is fantastic. But in terms of optimism, I think we can do it. We've already played Chelsea twice in the league, and both games ended up being a draw. Both games, to be honest, Chelsea probably would feel aggrieved to not have won. The first game, if I remember, they were pretty much on top until Reece James got a red card, and then it was more or less a defensive masterclass from them.
Yeah.
The second game, we bottled, and Chelsea just weren't able to get the winner, essentially, which was quite disappointing. So we've got to change something up. Again, they're going to be relatively tired, still jet lagged a little bit, coming back from the Club World Cup and winning that, going to extra time. So there's not much else I can say apart from I've just got a good feeling, but that goes for most Liverpool fans. So and not too much groundbreaking analysis there.
I want to bring up this comment about some best memories of Chedu wearing the jersey all the way around, but then Anthony kind of coming from the top rope, him beating you 10-2 on FIFA.
Listen. To be fair, there was a lot of lag on my end from Dominican Republic to the UK. That's a really, really big difference, okay? And second of all, you were hacking.
Is there a second of all?
He was hacking. That's that PSG tax. But I mean, at least it wasn't on. I mean, my ultimate team is fire. Check it out on my Twitter if you want to. Since my old Twitter got suspended, of course.
That is also very sad. This has just been a litany of L's for you so far this stream, Chedu.
I mean, hey, I'm good with my Twitter getting suspended because it had 200 followers. Now I'm at 1K. So we move. We take the positives here.
Well, I'll ask you the same question I asked to Louis. How optimistic are you next weekend that there will be a trophy around this time to be celebrating?
I think I'm very confident. Of course, Chelsea, on paper, is a strong team with a lot of good players, but they've recently struggled. I'm on the boat that says that Michael Carrick ended Tuchel and his elves. Because since that game against Manchester United, they just haven't been the same. And the game they played Crystal Palace, was it? Or what team did they play yesterday? Crystal Palace, yeah. They barely scraped the win.
Oh yeah.
Scoring at the end of the game. I know that we didn't have the cleanest of games either, especially in the first half, but you could tell the confidence just came back when we actually started when we put in our starters like Thiago coming in. Same with Firmino. So I don't know. I just looking at recent form from both teams. I'm a little bit more confident for us to go ahead. And of course, Chelsea, just some things haven't been going their way. Lukaku hasn't really been good. Lukaku with 2 touches, each touch worth 50 million. Yes, he scored recently, but we look at the past games, he just hasn't been good. The players have really been.
Did we just lose? I think we just lost Chedu. He mentioned that lag from England to where he's in. Chedu, are you back? Chedu.
Aloha.
Oh, Kris is here. All right. We went from Chedu lagging like a maniac. Now we have Kris back. Chedu,
This
if
is
you
a
can
new
hear us.
background. Look at this. This is fresh.
Look at this.
I made that, but I wasn't sure about using it because it's just images off Google.
Oh well.
Ah.
Oh well.
So
We move.
can you get striked for images on Google?
No.
Okay, all right, I'm changing then.
This is sick. I love this place. Okay. Class.
I love the as Anthony mentions, the Naldini poster in the background over Chris's right shoulder. Is that Chedu? Are you back with us?
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Oh
we
no,
lost
he's not.
Chedu.
No, he's not. He's in the mud. He's dead.
Chedu. We'll do this in the meantime.
Oh, he's back again.
Chedu's back with us.
Oh god.
Is it really a stream with Chedu in it? If I don't have that Latin America internet, let's be
Chuckle, an OG with the
exactly. Dominican Republic Wi-Fi coming through. What can I say? You people have it so easy. Like power goes out one day in.
No,
He's frozen again. He's in the mud.
we lost
He's in the
Chedu
mud.
again.
Debate room, can his Wi-Fi hold out?
No,
Don't
it
think it
can't. It can't.
He's
can
talking
hear
without moving his
I
mouth.
was gonna
Which
say
is-
I could hear. him
I am a
without-
magician. I am a magician. What can I say?
So how's the debate going, boys? It's going all right.
It's going fantastic.
It hasn't started yet, Kris. Actually, we were waiting for you to hop in.
But yeah, to end my point, I just want to say we're in really good form. They're in average form, especially our attackers. 3 of them scored over the weekend. Jota has been on fire too. So if he's back for the game, then I think it's gonna be a win for us. Honestly, I can't see it going another way.
I was asking Kris about optimism for a trophy at this time next Sunday against Chelsea. First of all, how are you doing? And where's your optimism at?
I'm good. The only thing that's not good is the fact that my microphone is not sitting on its stand at the moment.
I was going to ask why you were holding it, but that answers.
Yeah, that'll be why. I feel like I'm ready to interview you boys, like full on prime Jack and Tar at the basketball games. But no, I'm feeling pretty confident. If we win that trophy, I think we go on and win 2 or 3. I'm genuinely that
More or this season overall?
Well, this season for sure. I just think the Carabao Cup. There's a reason why Pep Guardiola and Jose Mourinho and all the best managers in Premier League history all absolutely adored the Carabao Cup, and winning it was because it's a shot in the arm for success. People want, if you win that, it gives you the I don't know what the word is, the hunger for more. And I think hopefully we do that. If we don't, I don't think it's a disaster. But
I mean, I think we can all agree that the Carabao Cup is bigger than the Premier League, right? So honestly, yeah, I think that's the best trophy we can get.
It's just worth remembering because we still have Leeds on Wednesday, and the thing about the Norwich game was that you could tell Klopp in his mind was trying to save some players from playing to keep them fresh for the final, and we could see it turned into a little bit more of a struggle than it needed to be. And obviously Thiago came on, a few more first team regulars came on. he's obviously going to still have that same mindset going into the Leeds game, but Leeds are going to be a tougher opponent. Like we all saw them. Well, some of us watched the game today against United. They're a much more physical team. So it'll be interesting to see how much he's prepared to risk, because at the end of the day, we can't drop any points in the league either, as much as we all want to keep everyone ready for the Carabao Cup. So,
Boys, I've done a masterclass.
Yeah, honestly,
Done a masterclass, boys.
Wow, this is impressive.
what a genius.
This is deeply impressive.
But on that point, I generally think that even if we have to risk like some of our starters not playing in the Carabao Cup final, I think priority would be win against Leeds, because I mean, even if City had won, it's just with them losing and us having a game in hand, it gives us a really good window to take over. A win against Leeds just puts us 3 points away from drawing with them on points, and we still have to play against them again this season.
Yeah.
So I think the best thing going forward is to put a strong team against Leeds, because as you said, Leeds of course are a way tougher opponent than Norwich are, and we saw how much we struggled against them. And that's something we can't really afford against Leeds, against anyone anymore in the league, because of how tough this title race is. Because City dropping points isn't really, seen every other day. I'm still befuddled to the fact that they lost against Spurs.
Antonio Conte, masterclass.
And Antonio Conte against Pep Guardiola seems to be something special. So it's our moment to capitalize. And if we don't win against Leeds, we're not going to win the Premier League. I genuinely think that, because if we drop points at a crucial point like this, when City have done so, when we have a game in hand, a chance to be 3 points behind them, then I don't see us going all the way.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, Chedu. So let's kind of bring the discussion from general this week's matches to Joe Gomez, the man on the thumbnail, the man in the title. Not the man of the hour yesterday. He had an interesting performance. Divided opinion. Kris, I think you said he was terrible. I'll go to you on your thoughts of him yesterday in a second. But there's a poll currently on the page. If you go to the community tab, you can put in a vote. Currently, I think we're
Don't leave the stream though. Don't leave the stream.
If you're on mobile, you can just drop it down really quick, go place a vote, come right back in. Currently, the 4 options that I put up there: starting next to Van Dijk for his future for Joe Gomez, starting next to Van Dijk, a squad option, loaned out for the 2022-2023 season, or sold in the summer and replaced. So those are the options on the poll. Go drop a vote on there, get your opinion in there, and we'll come back here. So Kris, though, you were at the match yesterday. Kind of what was the sense from the crowd, if there was one, in terms of how Joe played?
What I will say is I've watched the game back because I'm a sad bastard, and the next day of every single game, I watched the full game back. And I noticed that he was not being helped by Oxlade-Chamberlain whatsoever. There was no...
I'm sorry, but I just have to say it again. Ox has to leave this club. He is so awful. I just hate it.
He had a very poor performance. And Gomez hasn't started in 15 months, by the way, in the Premier League.
To be fair,
and he's not a fullback; he's a centre back. I think it's pretty darn clear to see. However, what I will say is one impact of Joe Gomez being an inverted fullback meant that Mo Salah got the ball a whole lot more. He was able to be more of a creator. He had more space on the right hand side because Trent wasn't overloading. I'm genuinely, I don't know. I'm torn. I'm really torn because as a backup, you won't get much better than Gomez in terms of covering all 3 positions on the back 4. But yesterday he wasn't at his best. I will say that, but you have to allow it.
I mean, it is understandable. He's playing out of position, and after being out for such a long time, it's understandable, really. Could have cost us, but it didn't, and that's really what matters.
So he's 24 years old. I'm trying to go through to see his matches played.
Too
I mean,
old.
so he appeared for. So let's go through this season, right? Appeared for a minute against Burnley. Second match of the season. 12 minutes against Man City as a right back. A minute against Spurs. A minute against Crystal Palace. 90 minutes against Norwich. What did you expect? He had played a combined 15 minutes in the Prem leading up to it this season.
I mean, I'm just gonna put it out there. Naldini hadn't played anything, and he played like a god.
Yeah, but it's different. It's different.
I know. I'm
played
just
like
messing.
Nat Phillips,
I'm
yeah.
just messing.
There is I saw a comment on yesterday's watch along with Ta that said that Nat Phillips is better than Joe Gomez, and I thoroughly disagree with
No,
that. I thoroughly
no.
disagree with that because I mean Nat Phillips is he doing well with Bournemouth right now? I haven't followed much.
He was
I
pretty
totally
good.
forgot he was at Bournemouth as well.
He was pretty good in the last couple of games, to be fair. Been pretty good.
It's just different standards, isn't it? You hold Nat
Yeah.
Phillips to different standards than we do Joe Gomez.
Yeah,
Exactly that.
I mean, after being our saving grace last season, he's just on a pedestal.
And this season, Joe Gomez has played more as a right back than he has as a center back. He's only had one not full 90 as a center back. That was against AC Milan in the 3-2 win.
I mean, it's understandable when you think about it because of the fact that Trent really has no cover. I'm not counting Nico Williams as cover.
Well, Nico Williams is on loan as well.
No, I know, but like before as well. And you know, for center backs, I think we're good. We have probably 3 of the best defenders in the Prem. So I kind of feel like Klopp wants to turn Gomez into a right back to cover for Trent because as we've seen in the so far this season, I think he's moved past starting Gomez most games. Of course, Matip somehow having a wonder season without getting injured. I don't know how, but it's happening. And Konate, since coming in, has proven that he's more than capable of being Van Dijk's partner, taking over the third spot away from Joe Gomez. So I kind of feel like Klopp's trying to train him into being Trent's cover as right back.
I'm interested in your guys' thoughts on that because I don't think that's not my take on it. At least I don't view Gomez as the backup for Trent. I think he's just there because he's there. I think Klopp would be wise to sign an actual out-and-out backup right back who can attack. Because, Kris, you mentioned that Salah looked great in the one-on-one dribbling because he had no one else kind of taking up that space. So he just was one-on-one with Brandon Williams very frequently, and Brandon Williams was getting cooked. He was putting him on a platter.
That wonder goal that Salah almost scored, just destroying Brandon Williams. That would have been
bless the poor Mank boy. Jesus Christ. Well, sorry, Jack. Completely interrupted you.
No, I think for Gomez, what are the standards? Was that a poor performance yesterday, or was it acceptable almost in the context that he's not a right back? He should play the long-term future. I think it's fine what he just did yesterday. I thought it was a fine performance. I'm seeing a comment here from Ayush because it was like Aaron Wan-Bissaka memories. In that right back spot because he couldn't cross, but I don't think you need him to cross.
I mean, I think you said it on the watch along, which was when we started playing a 4-2-4, and he didn't really have to go forward that much to attack. He played way better.
Yes,
since he just had to focus on defense and take it. Like when playing like that, I think he does quite well, especially looking at the circumstances. I think it's just going forward that's really the problem for him more than anything else.
Levels of every footballer on that field elevate when Thiago Alcantara is there.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I want to say though, because on that 4-2-4 point, it seemed almost illogical to do anything except for have him be inverted where he steps into the midfield, because you saw it when it was a 4-2-4. Henderson basically was still playing as a 6, and Gomez was almost the right central midfielder. And Thiago was able to have a lot more room to operate on the left. And that was brilliant because it meant that he was able to, I mean, Toss said it. He was like Joe Shiesty when he had for the first goal where he kind of beat 2 defenders, played it off to Henderson, who lofted it to Tsimikas. He headed it down for Mane's bicycle kick. I mean, he didn't have to be remarkable. He doesn't have to be Trent Alexander-Arnold. He just has to be the sideways passer. If he can do that in the
No,
midfield,
Wijnaldum.
if he could be the Wijnaldum from right back, it would be very helpful. And it would allow Tsimikas to play a bit more advanced on the left-hand side when he's a bit more reserved. So I thought he was, dude, I thought he was good yesterday.
Listen, wait, what do you say?
I thought he was good yesterday.
Okay. I thought you said garbage for a moment there.
Oh, no.
Good.
Am I the only one who thinks that every single time Tsimikas has played this season, he's been great?
I don't think he was great yesterday.
I thought he was average.
He was good. He was good. I think. Listen, the goal the guaranteed goal he had in front of him that he didn't score, it's a little bit. It hurts a little bit, but apart from that, I think he had a good game. I don't think it was his best in many ways, but I think he still did well. I mean, he got an assist as well, if I remember correctly. So
an assist with his head.
It happened. It happened. Listen, it happens. I mean, you saw that goal. That goal was fantastic.
He did miss a pretty big sitter. I'm not gonna lie. Very early on in the contest.
Yeah, that was shocking.
Yeah, but look, I think Joe is a right back. He's passable. If he's third choice right back, I'm over the moon.
I mean, as long as he does, as he does it, like he just, I kind of feel like he tries to be Trent Alexander-Arnold when he plays as a right back. Which
it's built into the tactics of the team, isn't it?
Yeah, but if we're gonna play Gomez as a right back, that can't be the case because Joe Gomez going forward is not Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Well, it also raises a very interesting point. If Klopp plays 4 forwards going forward, that's kind of a lot of forwards in that sentence. Is Trent a good right back option? He's not bad defensively, but the way he plays goes forward and leaves space behind him. If if you're down a midfielder, Trent can't play as advanced.
No.
And so then it makes an interesting point on who you have as right back. But so going back to the poll, I'm going to poll everybody here on what they believe on Joe Gomez. Should Joe Gomez be starting next to Van Dijk, a squad option, which is currently the overwhelming favorite, 72% of votes are saying that, loaned out for next season, or sold and replaced in the summer? Louis, I'll go to you. Where is the Joe Gomez future in your eyes?
Out of those options, I'd probably, I would. It's between backup and loan him out. I'd loan him to another Premier League team, purely just so that he can get those. He's guaranteed to get minutes somewhere. Because we're judging him off, like as we've said, an incredibly small amount of minutes, coming back from such a massive injury as well. And I don't care what anyone says. Like 2-3 seasons ago, when we came second by a point and when we won the league, people were saying it was Van Dijk and Gomez were like two of, if not the two best centre backs in the league. No one can convince me that at the time they thought Gomez was dog shit, which is what a lot of people seem to be trying to make out. One or two who follow this channel and were on the watch long yesterday in particular. So I don't sell him at all, especially as currently a 4th choice. He is, the best 4th choice centre back in the league. I mean, I can't think who else is of that level, and we have the luxury of him being a 4th choice.
Chedu's dog.
Was your dog the one having a scrap?
Yep.
All right.
Proud of him. He's the proud smile.
It was intentional by him. He wanted to get some love, so he got your attention. Kris, is he a starter next to Van Dijk? Squad option, loaned or sold?
I agree with Louis that it's between the two, or even the fact that they're sold. But I think that ball is in Joe Gomez's court. Does he want to be a squad player for Liverpool? If so, then more than welcome. He's more than of the standard to be a 4th choice centre back. Does he want to be a first choice? That's probably not going to happen at Liverpool for a little while, unless Matip gets injured and Kanate gets injured. So I don't know. It's a really weird one. Whilst Matip stays fit, you struggle to see a place for Joe Gomez, but we know how volatile his fitness issues can be. It's all in Joe Gomez's court. If he wants to leave, then let him leave. If he doesn't, and he wants to fight for his place and be patient, keep him. Because I think he owes the club that as well.
Did Rashishka run him ragged yesterday?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I don't think so. What did
In
he
the
do?
first half, in the first
In the
20,
first
30
half,
minutes.
he did.
But
First
if
20,
he
30
did,
minutes.
if he did, or if he didn't, there's always that context behind it that he hasn't played
Yeah.
sod all minutes, and he's coming back into a game which is a Premier League fixture, elite level of football. He's going to look rough. There's certain players who can do it, like a Thiago. He can come in and look just as good. Arguably, Elliott's come in and looked almost as good as before. But some people, Oxlade-Chamberlain, who a lot of us have been giving chance after chance to, needs to build up.
Ox has to
needs
go.
to build up games. I don't know. It feels really unfair.
So more dogs having scraps. Did I just hear more dogs?
I have no idea.
It's another building.
Go deal with it, Chedu. Go
happens
bring the
every
dogs
day.
in. Go bring the dogs.
Yeah, let me just open the window, jump out, and just grab the other dogs.
So I think that timing is everything in football, in terms of players, availabilities, in terms of when they come in and rise in their peaks in squads. So I'm gonna bring up a comment from Dan for a second. He wants to loan Joe Gomez for 2 years till Matty bleeps and slowly transition into Konate's partner when Van Dijk starts to age. My question then is, why does he have to be loaned out? He's 24 years old. Experience isn't what he needs right now. You know, I don't think that he needs the minutes now. He's not finalized as a player developing, but as a fourth choice, making 10, 15 appearances when Matip and Konate are healthy, but pushing them. And I think that's perfectly fine for him there. I see no reason to let him leave.
If you were Joe Gomez, would you be happy? I wouldn't be happy.
I mean,
and that's where it depends on Gomez, but then it also depends on what Klopp sees for him. If he sees Gomez and Konate as the future, then he's going to want to keep Gomez around long term. So if that means allowing him to go out on loan so that he can play almost a full season, then that might be what does that teach you?
What does that loan teach you about Joe? He's a good center back. We know that.
No, but it's about keeping him around, because you could sell him and he'll go out and play for another team all year long. But if Klopp sees him as 2-3 years down the line as the future with Konate, then you need to keep him happy. And Gomez, I'd be really surprised if he's happy to spend another year or two as a fourth choice centre back.
But is he fourth choice?
Yes.
I don't view him as
At present, he is.
I don't view him as fourth choice. Let me real quick get in and say something. I view it as Van Dijk and then Matip, Konate, Gomez. That's how I think it is in Klopp's eyes. Matip is the first, but they are on the same tier where they are all contenders.
No.
He's Joe Gomez is fourth.
Jack, he would have played far more. He would have played far more at centre back if that was the case.
Exactly. We wouldn't be seeing him feature more as a right back if he really wasn't the fourth choice center back. And to be honest, in my eyes, for Joe Gomez, I think it's about the drive and the power, and I think he has to stay hungry, and he has to devour.
He was the starting center back in the first Champions League match.
If anyone gets that reference,
he was. But no,
essentially, as a squad player, I think he's great. But I think if a good offer comes in for him, I would sell him. I don't think I would really look twice at it, especially with us being linked. Apparently, we've been linked to a trillion players. But recently, it's been to Araujo from Barcelona. If you haven't seen him play, he's fantastic. He's actually really, really good and young too. But I think he'd actually be okay staying at the club for now, because if you look at it. In the past years, he's been a crucial player for Klopp, so he knows that his injury has hampered him. And seeing his past with Klopp, I think he has the mentality of, if I give it my all, maybe I can get that status back again, being able to start. Especially looking at Matip, who, yes, he's been fit for a long time, but he's not really that we can't depend too much on him because he can get injured that often.
And almost the same for Konate as well. He had a pretty bad injury last year.
Exactly. So I
think Gomez feels like he can get back in. I get what you're saying.
Exactly. So seeing the circumstances, and especially with Matip only getting older and older, I think he sees now that yes, he has more competition, but it's not really an impossible task. Seeing how much Klopp loves him, trusts him, and the fact that he came out of an injury, of course he's not going to be playing week in week out. The reason why Van Dijk does it is because he got healthy earlier than he did, and of course Van Dijk is way more important to the club than he is. But I think he has the ability to regain that starting spot that he once had if he really puts in the work and the dedication to it. And it also depends a lot on his surroundings, on what happens to Matip and Konate, really, more than anything else.
There's no reason for me that Joe Gomez, injury-free, Matip and Konate couldn't be the first choice next to Van Dijk. No reason.
Apart from the fact that neither of those two deserve to be dropped before him.
Not dropped. Gomez could make an argument. Sorry for this live, by the way. It's quite brutal.
I'm going blind here.
He could very easily make the argument or make the contention for Klopp that he deserves to start next to him. I mean, our best center back pairing, Matty always says this in our draft. I'm not sure if this is one that was publicized or not, where he got Joe Gomez and Van Dijk and said this is our title-winning center back pairing in the Premier League. Joe Gomez is still a title winner. I will say
apparently we carried him. Apparently we carried a centre back to a Premier League title. What some people will have us believe.
The only thing that I would say for him leaving is this: if he wants to appear in the World Cup, he may need to leave on loan. I would not want to see him go on a 2-year loan.
Why don't we send him on a 3-month loan? Because
1 week loan.
Because the Qatar World Cup is in the winter, and maybe if we send him on to get some football for the 3 months, Jack's trying to blind us.
Jack has gone to heaven.
Get football to the 3 months in the time. Maybe he would get picked by Southgate. I don't know, but it would only be on the assurances that he would get picked, I suppose. But I don't know. The Winter World Cup does play a little role in it.
6-month loan is not the worst case, not worst suggestion ever. I just think that there's no reason Joe Gomez. He's not fourth choice. I don't believe in like choices like that because
I do.
I don't think that because it was Van Dijk, he's a nailed on starter.
Okay. So if you say he's not fourth choice, all our center backs are healthy. What order would you start him in?
Depends on the form. That's a dumb question because it all depends on form. And then you just play three guys who on form.
Okay, in their all 4 of them in their peak. What order?
I would go Matip, Gomez, Konate at their peak. Yes, Konate has not reached the heights of Gomez. Konate has not reached the heights of Gomez. It's a simple fact.
It feels a little bit like semantics at the moment. At this point,
yeah,
with Klopp's what we've seen with Klopp and the lineup, all 4 of them have been fit for the majority of the season so far, and Gomez has the fewest minutes by a long, long way.
Well, he was also injured for a significant amount of time this season.
I mean, that's true. But also look at how when did he come back from injury? It was at the start of the season, and he hasn't really featured that much. So so clearly Klopp has to be seeing something better from Matip and Konate that he's not seeing in Joe Gomez. For him to be playing those 3, rotating through those 3 center backs, because I think we've seen the 3 of them have each of them really, really good minutes throughout the entire season. But Joe Gomez is the only one that's really missing out. So clearly there's something going on in training that Klopp is seeing that just Joe Gomez does right now isn't as good as the other 3.
I don't think it's training.
The dogs have been going on again.
It's got to be the fact that Matip and Konate are having fantastic seasons.
Yeah,
that too,
and the fact that it's a struggle. I'm sure Jurgen probably foresaw Matip being injured for a significant period of time. It still could happen. Joe, we could be waking up tomorrow to Gomez being the first choice centre back for the final because Matip and Konate got injured. It can be that easy. We saw it last season. Who would have expected Nat Phillips to play so many minutes, and a lot of fans calling for him to stay. But that's only because he had the platform to show it off, and I don't think Gomez really has had that. in the way that the other three have. So yeah.
A lot of people are talking about getting £50 million for Joe Gomez. Am I the only one who thinks that's incredibly unrealistic?
Yeah.
At the moment?
No.
How?
I'm
Yes.
saying that's low. That's low.
So many.
Jack,
Oh,
stop.
whoa.
Jack,
Whoa.
Jack, stop joking.
Jack.
24-year-old center back.
3 major injuries.
People would only go for a loan. If you were asking for 50,
3 major injuries for a player that's featured how much this season? No way. That's 50. That's 50 million. Let alone more than that.
We
30 max.
At 24 years old. If we sold him for 30 million, we're idiots. We're idiots. Who will you replace him for?
No, we're idiots. But no club is going to offer more than
that's fine.
Joe Gomez.
Sell him. Then you don't sell him. That's simple.
I know, but I'm just talking about people saying, "Oh, well, if we get 50 million, we should sell him." But that's incredibly.
Tomori went for 38 million. You're telling me Fikayo Tomori?
Tomori played more. Tomori played more than Gomez, and he hasn't had a major injury.
Wait, wasn't Tomori even on? Tomori was on loan at AC Milan before they bought him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and at AC Milan he played. Did you not see how he played at AC Milan? He was fantastic. Yes.
He's played 19 league games this season.
For how he played for the listen. Yes, it's a little bit too much, but at least he was proven at AC Milan, and he didn't have the injury background that Joe Gomez has. I'm not saying that he's not proven, but look at the injuries he's had, how big the last one was, and how little he's been featuring this season. Right now, there is no way he would go for 50 million.
This is the classic scenario of a player is worth more than teams are willing to pay for him, and then you just say, simply put, no reason to sell him. No one will pay 50 million plus. He's worth 70 million. He's worth Maguire cash because he's 24 years old. He has been at the apex of the sport. Yes, he's been hurt, but there's no reason why. There's no reason why that doesn't impact him. No reason. Zero reason why he could not go back to being a top
personally.
Player. He's English.
The injury he picked up last season makes me think that we've seen the peak of Joe Gomez, and that's why I'm a little bit less optimistic.
He's 24, Chris.
Yeah, 24 with that knee injury, no fault of his own, but it's sad. It's really sad, but he's not going to get up to the levels. Especially, you can already tell he's lost a yard of pace. Oh, I'm frozen.
You're frozen, Chris.
I know, it's because my camera just died.
Oh, all right. We'll let the EOS webcam utility set on the screen. Look, the fact of the matter is, Gomez, I think there's zero reason to write him off at this point. There's no, because here's the thing. We need 4 center backs who can push themselves. And if we sell Gomez, we have to replace him. Who are we replacing him with? Nat Phillips? I shudder at the thought. He looks good against Van Dijk because he's next to Van Dijk. But there's no reason, there's no pressure on moving Gomez on because Matip is the only guy ahead of him in my eyes in this team when they're playing at their best. Konate is more physical. He's more athletic because he hasn't had the major injuries that Gomez has had. But that doesn't mean Gomez can't adapt.
Which is a factor in everything.
It's 100% a factor, but that doesn't mean Gomez can't adapt.
No, I know that's not the case, but looking at things right now, I would take Konate over Gomez at any day of the week. And again, we shouldn't sell Gomez. He's fantastic as a squad player, but if 50 million comes in for Gomez, I'm not thinking twice. I'm shipping him off.
But what are you doing with that money?
Vibes.
What does the money do?
Fund Mbappe.
What does the money do? What does the money do? Like everyone's like 50
Put it in the Bellingham fund.
Yeah, Bellingham fund.
But then who you replace with him at center back for
Me.
50 million?
Me too. I'm stepping in.
Chris, no way you've gone from the 2020-2021 season, seeing when we had 3 center backs, and all 3 of them got miraculously hurt, and you're going to say, let's go back with 2 of those guys who got hurt that season.
Yes.
I agree. I don't think Gomez should go. I think it'd be ridiculous because there is still an avenue for him, but at this moment in time, there isn't because Matip and Konate are fit. When one of those has an injury, he will be able to worm his way back in, just like he has done before.
So how do you let him get back into the side if he's on loan?
You don't loan. Well, you either loan him out for 3 months. Loan him out for 3 months.
Yeah, but see, Milan Skriniar is being brought up. A 27-year-old non-Englishman, which is a factor, because then it limits your recruitment elsewhere.
Yeah,
you're getting a guy who's older, and frankly,
we've just sorted out our centre back situation. We
Frank,
could do with updating the midfield. We don't need to create more problems for ourselves.
Who is this
Listen,
Badiashile guy?
sell Gomez for 50 million. Spend 1 million on 50 different center backs,
Benoit
and
Badiashile.
surely one of them is going to be good enough, right?
Yeah. Okay, but look, you bring this guy Benoit Badiashile. He's 20 years old, plays for Monaco. He's the cool new thing on the block. Why? Why are you bringing a guy who's unproven?
Listen. Mbappe was at Monaco. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Because here's the thing. This is the point
Mbappe
that I
played
always
at
make.
Monaco.
This is the point that I always make versus on Doku versus Jared Bowen. Jeremy Doku at 19, 20 years old needs game time, needs minutes to develop as a player. Jared Bowen doesn't need minutes. He needs to be in a side that can support him better. Not better than West Ham. He's doing very well at West Ham, obviously.
Just want to say,
But-
when I finally cave in and jumped on the Bowen train and got him on my FPL, he had a stinker. So I'm just fuming just hearing his name.
But
Also,
Don't
Jared
disrespect
Bowen,
my boy.
Jared Bowen is 24, 25 years old. He
He's
doesn't
good. He's
need.
good.
He could come in and be a backup. You bring in
Yeah.
this Badiashile guy. He's 20 years old. He needs minutes. He's going to be fourth choice. That's just moronic to bring in a guy who needs
Yeah,
minutes.
fourth choice
not
over
give him
Gomez.
That's idiotic. That's a terrible step backward. You bring in a guy who's not as good as Gomez, maybe has higher potential, but you're not going to let him realize that potential because you don't bring him in.
But Jack, what I will
What if
say
we
is,
play with 3 center backs instead?
what I will say is, and I'm gonna just like say it again, like I think we might have already seen the peak of Joe Gomez purely because of his injuries.
Yeah,
And
We've
I'll
got nothing
go-
to base that on yet, though. Like,
I'll
I
go
mean,
on
yeah,
with
that's true. But looking at the injury history and how big the injuries have been, it does
yeah, but
bring
how
up
many
big doubt
players
as to
have we had that with? Matip's got terrible injuries.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but
but
this
Matip
is
is Matip.
Louis, this
No
is
comment.
bad.
Oxlade Chamberlain's getting picked up injuries all the time. We've given
I mean,
all of them
look at us like
chances.
Chamberlain. He's playing like trash. He
We've given
shouldn't
all
be
of
in the
them
team. He has
chances,
to
and
go.
they've
He's
come
such a
back
trash
into the team.
player.
We've given all of them chances. They've come back into the team in their own ways. Oxlade Chamberlain obviously not very good anyway, but
Thank you.
until Gomez gets a consistent run, like I just don't feel like we can. At the end of the day, Klopp might turn around and just sell him this summer, and he might not
Yeah.
get another minute in the club. Like we don't know that, but from the outside, I don't feel like we can say that we think he's finished because we've got nothing to base it on.
Joel.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he's finished. I just don't think he might reach the heights that he will.
But
You know?
that-
Yeah,
Same,
but I
there's-
do-
there's-
but I
apart
do
from
agree with
seeing
that.
the name of an injury, there's nothing to back that up with.
No, yeah, and I do agree with your point that he like we can't really tell until he has like consistent game time, because right now, of course, playing as a right back and not playing that much even, it's really tough to be able to say whether he has the potential that he used to have before, or that he's good enough to start for us. But either way, everything that's happening right now is casting a big
Ooh.
shadow of doubt over him. But I don't think it's really
damn.
over him yet.
Dan's put a little bit of a, well, not Davis, but Sepp van den Berg's back next year.
Honestly, I forgot Davis
No.
existed up until he said that name.
Sepp
and
van den
Sepp-
Berg's having a brilliant season at Preston.
Yeah, and let him have a brilliant season in the championship again next year, the Premier the year after, and then
Yeah.
when he's 23, 24.
He had a brilliant. Nah, he'll go Prem. He'll go Prem next year.
All right, that's
He's
fine.
good enough.
But here's the thing, okay? I make this argument all the time. If a dude's born after 2000, cannot be a backup choice for us. Because look at
But
how
that means
far...
it. Konate.
So exactly, Konate.
Nah, whatever, that's a joke.
Jack in the mud. Jack in the mud.
I'm
You're gonna say that Chouameni isn't a backup option?
no,
Jack's
Konate
been
was
trying-
born in 99. Konate was born in 1999.
Same thing as 2000. Same thing as
Harvey
2000.
Elliott.
Harvey Elliott. Curtis Jones.
Generational. Harvey
Curtis
Elliott is
Jones.
generational.
Curtis Jones.
He's once around. Nah, Curtis Jones. Look, these are guys who have been here for many years developing in, except for Elliott. Elliott's generational. Elliott, ignore him. But Konate.
Yeah. Ignore him.
Konate was born in May 1999.
You're gonna tell me that I'm not good enough to step in as goalkeeper?
Yes, I'm going to tell you that. You were not good enough to step in as goalkeeper.
That's
Here's
a
the
trick
point
question. I'm a center back, so
Here's the
Chedu,
point
you're
I'm
such a
making.
shit house. I can't believe what I'm listening to.
Here's the point I'm making.
I mean, I own a football Twitter account. What can I say?
Yeah, that's a very valid point. The point I'm making is that Sepp van den Berg cannot be his fourth choice next season because he needs minutes to develop. He needs to develop as a dude.
Yeah, he can be fourth because he's already a starter for us.
Sepp van den Berg's a starter for us.
Hell yeah, better than Van Dijk in my eyes.
Chedu, you're in like your football Twitter mode right now.
I'm sorry. It just that's what hearing Oxlade's name does to me. I just
Pesci and
gonna-
Penaldo
I'm
coming right out.
gonna take a step back.
Virgil
thing
Van
is-
Dijk.
Yeah.
Virgil Van Disney.
You look at guys, and I will actually reference a Twitter account, a football Twitter account. Chedu, do you know who Mike is from the United fan base?
Yeah.
So he's a guy who is like a cult in the Manchester United fan base because he only rates players based on trophies. He hates Liverpool so much; it's hilarious. But he always says, like, goes back to the Manchester United of old, where they just signed winners who were in their primes, just signed winners, and they brought in young guys and unproven guys into a winning team. That's what I think has been doing very, very well so far this season. How we've changed things a little bit. Brought in some winners like Thiago, brought in some young guys who can really kind of fall into a good spot. I don't think a guy replacing Gomez fits with that logic, fits with that theory.
No, yeah, I'm being so one other comments. Being completely honest, yeah, that's the one I saw. Virgil Van Big Down.
Jesus Christ.
Who brought that up? Who brought that up?
It wasn't me. That was definitely Chris.
Chris.
Look at Chris's face. That was definitely him. So I think right now.
No, end it.
I think right now, yeah, Gomez again as a squad player, he'd be good enough. But to be honest, now talking about all of it, I think that loaning him might be the best option when you think about it, because in a way, like right now, it looks like he's not gonna get many minutes for us, and he has to get consistent game time in order to actually know if he has what it takes to go back at his peak once again. So I think loaning him out to a Premier League team would be a really, really good option.
Well, can we finish? Can we stop? I can't stop fucking laughing.
Chris is ready to tune in. Here's the thing, right? I think to hit on your point, Chris, about my face hurts from all the smiling I've been doing. On your point on have we seen the best of Joe Gomez? Even if we have, I think Joe Gomez is a step down from his best. Even 2 steps down, it's still a good option. If he's fourth choice, then he's fourth choice. Then if he doesn't prove me right, he doesn't prove me right. Again, these are dudes I have no control over. I just look at him as a guy who has done really well for Liverpool. He's still young, 24 as a center back. He's still pretty young. I just think that there's not really many better options out there who fit with the squad as well as they do right now. He's English. It's a big factor with squad registration.
Looking at Chedu's fucking face. I can't.
It's just my face.
Wow, Chris is laughing at how you look.
It's just this fucking little cheeky smile, man.
Look, all right, so let's get our final verdicts in. Everyone in the chat as well. Ayush, I'm glad you're enjoying this.
Oh my god.
I'm of the opinion that he's squad option contender to be a starter for Van Dijk. That's my opinion. I think Louis, you said he's on the verge. You're on the fence almost of squad option loan out.
Pose yourself.
Pick a side, Louis. Squad option next year. Is he loaned out next year for you?
I'd have him as a squad option, personally.
Chris, pick a side on that debate. Loaned out or back up.
Sorry. Right, just trying to compose myself.
Yeah, you're good.
I would have him as a squad option purely because I think that squad option could be a view to becoming a first teamer again.
Mm-hmm.
He has 2 potentially injury prone centre backs in front of him, so there is potential that he could be able to break into that first team.
Wait, do we know who Jack Murray is? Am I?
I mean,
no.
he's not that Kempengwa. So.
I think that's the only comment he's made, and I just want to say,
Jack, bro, don't comment ever again.
To be honest, oh, he already delete that comment. Let's just
No. Jack is allowed. Only Jack, because he has a great first name, is allowed to make comments like that.
He's made a serious comment now. What the fuck?
No, he hasn't.
Read the comment. Fully clock what he's saying.
He's
Then you'll realize.
He's saying that his penis is too heavy for him to lift, Louis. I know it's like.
Oh,
the realization had to It's okay. It's okay.
All right,
So yeah, I'm saying.
Chris. Oh, he's like,
He's
you were lying a
dying.
bit.
He's died.
Are we back?
Yeah,
You're back.
yeah.
You're back.
I'm saying keep him because he potentially will get back in the first team when someone gets injured, because I think it will happen at some point.
And Chedu's opinion doesn't matter because he has a football Twitter account.
Paul Promise is finished.
Oh,
No,
Gomez.
On a real, I think best. I think
Poo
Promise. Yeah. In my opinion, I think the best thing for him would be alone, get consistent game time, and show that he still has it to like contend to be the second center back against a side of Van Dijk. Because right now I just don't see him getting enough game time to really prove that he still has what it takes to be a starter. So getting him out to another Premier League team on loan would be good.
Well, that was when I tuned into this stream I logged in. I did not expect it to kind of take the twists and turns that it did take today. But it was
that's the best thing about it. You just don't know what's gonna happen, and that's
Chedu,
that's why we're here.
Like a wild card factor that I just can't predict.
Just don't know what's going to happen.
That's what. Hey, listen, guys. Thursday, a great video coming.
Oh,
Chedu
and Wednesday? No, not Wednesday.
Thursday.
And in a couple of weeks potentially as well. You know, there could be a Chedu watch along time potentially.
Yes. Tommy, you missed a good one if you just joined. There was
watch it again. Run it back.
Go from about 30 minutes onwards when I started getting pissed off at people, and then we kind of derailed the conversation with talk of genitalia. But anyways, that's going to do it for our stream here today. Always a fun one. Really appreciate everyone getting involved in the comments down below. We'll have more content coming up. We'll have a chat room tomorrow. We'll have content ahead of the Leeds match, which is on Wednesday. We'll have a watch along. Louis will be on that with some fresh graphics potentially. Tom and I will have some really interesting pre-match content for the Carabao Cup. Chedu will have a very exciting Hunger Games video. There'll be some other content in the week leading up, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're really beginning to kick off with a lot of content as the season is trending in a great direction where maybe we're not LFC transfer room, we're LFC trophy room. A few good things can happen.
Wait, that's a great way to end.
For Louis,
before you end it, I just have to check a stat. Keep talking. Just give me a second.
Oh, well, I'm about to outro. You gotta be really, really quick.
Okay. I just need to log into the YouTube real quick because from what I know, at least last time I checked, around 50-60% of you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel. And that's not very cash money, as we call it over here. So if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, and you'll have at least 10 years of good luck.
Get us to 3K before the end of February. Could happen.
Listen, guys, my birthday is in 2 weeks. Actually, next week now. So if we can get, to 3K, it would be really, really, really cash money.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel. For Louis, for Chris, for the soon-to-be birthday boy Chedu, I've been Jack. This has been LFC Transfer, and we'll catch you in the next video or stream. Have a good rest of your day.